Attention, 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 attention.
Next week, an evil space ruler seeks the services of a doctor.
Oh, it's gonna be a big night tonight. Hit that curtain!
We welcome you to Guitar Talk Universe.
Okay, I have nothing like planned at all. Okay, I got a message from, is this, hello? I got a message from Steve. Apparently, my co-host he has apparently stuck his tongue where he wasn't supposed to. And his throat hurts and he can't talk. I meant to say Steve has gonorrhea, but I went to spell gonorrhea and my spell check said, what? So gematria, I don't know what kind of venereal disease that is. But first in the chat, we have Cedric McCarty. What's up? And then we have the great poet and one of the only truly gigging musicians that apparently on the YouTubes, and who apparently got yet another Les Paul. It's like the third day of 2025, and Hack has already purchased another Les Paul. Okay, since Steve is not here, I tried to get some other guests to come on. I know I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, but this is all I got. Hey, it's Randy Frank. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, bottom of the barrel, cheat rig, you know.
I did send Randy out one of those $5 pitch pipe. Dude, like the apartments I live in are super old, right? It's the old Camp Taylor from World War II, right? So yeah, you can imagine I have a crawl space, you know, so like I have a big beach towel stuck at the bottom of my door to the back to keep the wind from fucking coming in, right? So when the temperature goes up and down, just maybe 10 degrees in here or 30, you know, the floor's cold. My guitars, their tuning goes like this too. So
yeah, we went from 70 degrees to like 30 overnight, and it hasn't warmed up past about 45.
What state do you live in?
Georgia.
Okay, I'm in Kentucky, and supposedly we're about to get creamed. Anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow, 2 inches of ice. But the way they predict the weather,
they don't know, man.
We'll probably get a dusting and it'll be fine, you know. So,
well, does everybody go buy all the milk and bread so they can make milk sandwiches?
I went to Ghetto Kroger, and on the way back, I saw my neighbor, and he said, "Man, I went to Kroger earlier this morning, And I could not believe, and I'm pulling out my groceries. He goes, "Oh, you just..." I couldn't find a parking space. And people are so stupid.
You're telling me.
Oh, my goodness. So anyway, yeah, Steve is apparently got the crud that... what's the third ball guy? What are we calling him now?
Dangler?
The Dangler. Yeah, apparently the Dangler went on your live stream and everybody's caught this, whatever the hell he's spreading around the internet, some virus.
Yep, Ryan had it for a month. I had it for about 2.5, 3 weeks. It's a good time.
I got to go see my doctor Monday, as a matter of fact.
You had a Viagra and
Yeah,
Geritol.
I haven't seen him for a year, so I went to get a script refilled, and he said no. So he's got to go in and feel on my cubes and draw some blood and yell at me about my A1C and all Dave all night. What's up, brah? Ah, shit. There's. Can you unplug this guy from your house or something?
It's his house.
He's gonna say something about my Epiphone. Well, I tell you what you do.
And just tell him to fuck off. I'll turn the ear.
You fuck off. You. Uh-oh. I tell you what you do. It works every time. You change the numbers on the front of your house. He'll never figure it out, dude. He'd be like, "Where's my house at, man?"
He does know I never leave, right?
Yeah, he never leaves.
I only leave to go to the Slong Bong store in Kroger's.
Yeah, well.
Oh, there's trouble.
I warned Ryan. So
you want to do a Floyd track or something, or just shoot shit, or what do you want to do?
it don't matter. I had to go through here and fix our levels were all fucked up last night for some reason, and good God, I go through and
hit your guitar. Let me hear it.
let me turn my piezo off.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just fire it up and see what happens. It's this it's whatever. I think it's an E minor though.
Take the lead. Thank God that's over.
Well, what happened there? Oh, it's over. That's why. Okay, so apparently we got there's Ted. Dude, yeah. Randy was talking about this. You're just playing to the screen, man. Just and I don't know who this is, but the Doka Puppy Dog. Oh my God. Could you just scratch that dog's head? It's like, oh my God, look at her size, that puppy dog. I love dogs.
Blue, all you got to do is just, think that you're just playing to a room full of Quentin.
Oh, yeah, because I don't, By the way, I don't know if I told you, but
hey, Ma,
there's no charge for the keyboards changing colors. That's just the benefit of Guitar Talk Universe. I don't charge for that. I'm just.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
I'm just doing this number right here, just stirring away.
That's mighty nice of you.
Yeah, it's mighty white.
FTG.
Fuck the what?
FTG. Fuck that guy.
Ah. So, do you have anything new on the Christmas list? I know NAMM's coming up in a few weeks, right? 21st or 25th or something like that. So, I know Synergy has apparently leaked something new coming out. You know what's going on?
I do. Mike Saldano leaked that yesterday. It's been in the rumblings on the old Synergy forums there for about 2 years. Or whenever the Astro 20 came out. So basically, it's the Astro 20, the Saldano Astro 20, without the preamp. And for the preamp, you can pick any of the Synergy modules to be your preamp.
Okay.
It's got the built-in IRs. You can load your own IRs. It's 20 watts, 20 watt tube power amp. And it'll power your cabs, or it's got a balanced mono DI, and it's only got a mono loop. And they're shooting for, I think he said today, they're shooting for $1,000 on the retail price of that thing, street price, and that does not include a module. So
but those
basically,
things, they're only like $300-400 though, right?
Yeah, the modules are $399. And you can usually get a pretty decent deal on them on Reverb if you find the right stores. But yeah, essentially, if you bought that and then bought the SLO2 module, you would have the Astro 2, just without all the modeling bullshit. End of it.
Okay, I do have a Michael Saldano story.
That don't look like Michael Saldano.
I think it's Michael Saldano's story. I'm pretty sure. Mark Husansky can correct me. I think it's him. Anyway, back in the day, Mr. Saldano was wearing this necklace while he was working on an amp. And of course it dangled and hit a capacitor or something and blew the guy's balls off. So he no longer wears dangly necklaces when he's working on amplifiers. So that's my Michael Saldano.
Well, all right.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. All Dave said the Astrot. Funny.
Astrot Winty.
You know, that guy, he doesn't really look like you at all. I don't think so. Anyway.
Well, if I had my haircut, and I don't know, it's pretty close. His hair's lighter. Mine's just grayer.
Well, let's see. Guitar Hack, he traded something basically even for his new Les Paul, which I think makes number 6. He's definitely a Les Paul guy. And Hack is still one of the last gigging musicians I know. Shit.
You talking about, man? I play gigs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And sometimes stand-in gigs on Fridays.
Mhm. Yeah, there's just some awkward silence there. Yeah, yeah, I tried to invite Brian and John DeShane, and I tried Henny and Paulie too, but well, I don't know if he's talking. Because every time I see Henny, I always give him shit for that god ugly Mac Mo headstock, and oh my god, dude, it's almost as bad as the Tyler headstock's pretty bad too, but the Mac Mo looks like you got a guitar kit and you never shaped it into a headstock.
Do you remember the old Charvel CX series from the early '90s? They were like the super cheap Strat knockoffs. They had the same headstock. I'm sure Dave knows what I'm talking about.
Steve just sent me a picture of him jamming with somebody. Oh, okay. He's saying gigging musician, so I get it. Steve had to go get one of them 48 rolls of toilet paper because his nose is running over.
Yeah,
those.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Yeah, we got a paddle headstock, and then just we just sawed a line through it, and there we go. That's it.
They sawed a line through it and then put a Mac Mo sticker on it, and of course everybody's saying, "Well, you don't see it when you're standing up." Yeah, but your entire audience is looking right at it.
Right.
It's
Dave, wasn't it the old Charvel? Was it the CX series, the little Strat copies they made that had the same headstock as the Big Mole?
Oh God,
that little straight triangle-looking bullshit.
Isn't it weird? But for me, a headstock can make me or break me on a guitar.
I'm 100% the same way.
That's such a I don't know. Like even the color of this guitar, it's to me it's just too fucking gaudy. But the deal I got on it, I've always liked Schecters. I needed HSS. I needed the Floyd to get my 80s on.
Did they have those on the Charvet, Dave? I know a lot of the Charvets had the pointy headstock.
I never liked Charvets. I never liked the Model 1 or Model 2 or... Yeah, I don't like somebody's name on the headstock.
What about their initials?
I don't like when... Remember when Henry did where he changed the thickness of the neck, the width, and put the metal nut on, and then he did some shit on the headstock that nobody asked for, and I think they lasted 1 year, and they probably still got a shitload in their warehouse.
Henry who? Henry
Jukowitz at Gibson.
Oh yeah, that went over about as well as the Robo tuners.
Or the guitars that they ran over with the excavator. You could have donated them to some school or something, Henry. But I don't.
There's rumor that there's a Hetfield Signature Explorer coming. I think there was. He changed the Les Paul font. Yeah.
Almost. Go ahead.
I'd take a Nuno headstock over a.
Who is it?
Mac Mole.
Oh, I almost unfriended our horny little Slipknot kid because he hates the Nuno headstock. He hates it.
I hate the Nuno guitar, the N4.
Yeah.
They're too small.
It's a little small, yeah. I saw Nuno live in a club that we used to play, up close and personal. The boy's got tiny feet. I'm just saying.
Well, he's tiny.
I'm just saying. But he's got little baby feet, man. Oh, the Nuno Telly.
Would you rather have Nuno feet or Steven Tyler feet?
Wow. You think with all that money he made, he could get those damn toes fixed or buy a pair of socks or something. That is some freaky looking shit.
Guitar hacks, right? The Nuno Telly is terrible. It is. I played one at Guitar Center like 2
years
ago, and they were ugh.
I've played a couple of Nunos. I didn't care for the neck. I played some Sir Tellys, 3 of them. Neck didn't blow me away either.
I've been eyeballing the Richie Kotzen Stratocaster, not the Telecaster.
I don't know if I've seen the Richie Strat.
So they've been out just probably longer than the Telecaster, but they're Fender Japan, but they get imported here.
Yeah.
It's got the same big ass neck on it as the Telecaster, and they're either a translucent white with I think it's a swamp ash body with a flame maple top, and they're either a translucent white or a translucent red, and they've got custom DiMarzio single coils on them that can be wired up as singles or humbuckers. And they handle everything that Richie can play. So anything from harder rock to endless legato.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that the hardware on them's gold. They have gold hardware, and then the tuners are gold with the pearloid buttons.
Let's go ahead and Guitar Hack talk about gold hardware. He hates gold hardware as much as I hate the MacMill headstock.
I don't hate gold hardware. I just feel like it only looks right on certain guitars.
Yeah. I had a white Explorer, Gibson Explorer I bought when I was like 20. It had gold hardware, but dude, I ate that stuff up in 6 months. It was all bubbling up and just can't keep it. Okay, the Richie Kotzen thing. Richie, with or without a pick?
It doesn't matter.
I got to go with a pick, dude, because there's certain things does it help when I do that he cannot do. I mean, I'm not about to critique Richie Kotzen, for God's sake, but there's just certain things he can't do with without a pick, man. But his legato. You ever see his video from back in the day? His teaching video.
The REH video. Where
it is
the horror movie Ibanez.
What I like about that is he does like close up one note at a time, really slowly, because that's how I learned, because I went to public school. And then he goes, okay, let's get it up to speed. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then he opens his mouth and starts singing. I'm like, holy shit. And then he went, the greatest thing about him, though, is he got kicked out of Poison for banging the drummer's fiance. That's just rock and roll.
He was just trying to let Ricky Rocket know that she was for the streets.
Oh, God. He was doing the Michael J. Fox.
He wasn't wrong, because you were shaking.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says things that's funny, and that's just not one of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if he said that you could make a shaken martini better than Michael J. Fox, I'd say, well, I'd have to see that.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't say stuff like that. Okay. So, any predictions for the future of, like the Helix? The Quad Cortex has been out long enough. They're not about to bring out the Quad Cortex Mark II. The Fractal has got whatever, the Mark II Turbo. I think that's what Metallica's using now.
They're using the Axifex 3s.
Yeah.
They started using the Fractal stuff, I think, in 2017.
But it's about time for Helix Line 6 to try to blow the world away again.
Well, they went with the, what did they do a couple years ago? The Catalyst, the combo amps.
Yeah.
They put the Helix stuff, technology in the combos, got rid of the spiders. I don't know. I went down that Line 6 route years and years ago. It was when the HD stuff come out.
Right.
And I was not impressed. So I pretty much ended up using it as a MIDI switcher. I couldn't give up my rack stuff and my real head and cab. I was running a 5152 through a Mesa oversized 4x12 with a TC, the G Major 2.
I know you got excited when I said something about redoing the tri-axis.
You know, okay, so I'm a huge Metallica fan, obviously. And as you know, everybody loves the tone on Puppets through the Black Album. But there's something for me in Hetfield's live tone around 98, 99 that I really like, and he was blending the Triaxis with a Wizard.
I thought it was a diesel VH4.
The diesel VH4 came in the 2000s.
Ah.
And he ran the Triaxis with the VH4 till like 2016.
And the thing is that everybody I've ever seen heavy that uses the diesel uses the third channel.
Right.
Apparently the red was just like way too much. I actually met that guy, Peter Diesel, at the NAMM show back in the day. And he's like, you want to play at VS4? And of course you're at NAMM, so it's like driving a Lamborghini in your living room. I
hear if you can get into a party with Reinhold Bogner, it makes for a very interesting time.
That guy this is just me, fucking looks creepy as fuck. He looks like he would be on that island with Epstein.
Well, he is German.
Oh, well.
No offense to most Germans, but...
He's probably just mad because, they lost the big one. Twice. It's just a fact, dude. I'm just saying, Henning Pauly just rolls his eyes every time I say that.
Well, you shouldn't try and fight a war on two fronts. Well, never mind. That's a lie. We did it and we won both. We had to make Rice Krispies before Kellogg's before we won the second front. But sorry, that wasn't very PC of me.
I just don't think Boss does really good heavy guitar tones. They've never been able to do it.
I don't know, dude. That Boss shit that Blue Mox came on with the other night sounded fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's not like this thing over here is a whole lot better than the Digitech, but it is what it is, It's funny, if I was still gigging, I'd probably still be using a head and a couple of pedals.
Well, that's the beauty of the Synergy thing, right? You're still running tubes, but you can run direct, or you can run it with a power amp and run cabinets.
I would get what do they call it? Module paranoid. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just want every damn one of them. Oh, but the Bogner, man. Yeah, but they've got the Diesel too. Yeah, but the Friedman. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, that's what... Well, see, I ended up... The first module I bought, when I bought all this shit, was the Engel Powerball. I wanted something that could kind of cover all the bases. And... It's not a bad module. It's not currently installed. There's 2 modules installed in my Syn 2, but the Powerball is not one of them. That module on the red channel has so much fucking gain right off the rip. And I even retubed it because they come with ECC 83s, 12AX7s,
right,
whatever. And you couldn't turn the gain up past like 10 o'clock or it was just so saturated that it was just squished. And that's better than the Turd Master Pro.
Oh! Yeah, that thing was, I don't think you gave it a good half hour and just went, oh my God.
Dude, everything I tried in that sounded like shit. And to Dave's point, I was kind of frustrated because I haven't built a kind of rig like this to go direct.
Yeah.
So trying to get the right pedals going and the right modules and dialing it in, dude, I owe Jimmy Biter so much gratitude for all the help that dude has given me with this because he's like my Synergy expert, He's been running it for so long now.
Now, a lot of it, let me get this out first. Do you listen back on YouTube to see what it sounds like? Or are you counting on your headphones? Because, I don't like what my shit sounds like through these headphones. It sounds better on YouTube than it does through my headphones. So you can imagine my tone hurting my ears.
Well, it hurts everybody else's ears on YouTube.
Oh, God.
So, my headphones, I've got the Audio Technica MH50s or whatever.
That's what I got, I think.
I've destroyed the speakers in them. because I like shit loud.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting in a fucking computer chair in front of a monitor. I want to feel something.
Yeah.
And, but no, what I hear through my headphones isn't exactly what I hear through YouTube.
Right.
So what I'm trying to dial it in, I always text Jimmy. And we meet up in our little tune-up room, and I'll just, like, I bought the Friedman, the BE Deluxe, for my higher gain stuff. I unboxed it Tuesday and went live with it an hour later. And 30 minutes before we went live, Jimmy and Jimmy met up, and I said, well, this is where I've got it. Because I always start with all the knobs on 5.
Right, yeah.
And I kind of dialed it, because, you know, I've never been into that Marshall vein for my own playing style.
Me neither.
There's a million dudes out there that make Marshalls sound phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, I mean, let's face it, that's what a BE Deluxe is. It goes from Plexi to the most modded out JCM 800 kind of deal you can do and beyond. So, Jimmy uses the BEBB, which is... because they made the BEBB, which is one channel is the Buxom Betty and the other channel is the BE.
Oh, okay.
And then they come out with the HBE, which is the higher gain BE. And then everyone bitched that they don't have enough bass. So he ended up making the BE Deluxe, and it's got a fat cap switch on the PCB board.
Okay.
So that was immediately flipped on. And I said everything at noon and just kind of dialed it, and me and Jimmy got together, and I'm like, yeah, those BE minis are pretty cool. So me and Jimmy got together, and I said, this is where I've got. And he goes, it actually sounds pretty good. He goes, I'd dial a little more bass into it. And I'm sitting here, walt, 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 in my speakers, farting my headphones out. And I'm like, you sure that's not too much? He's like, no. He's like, turn the bass up. He's like, where do you have the bass? I said, about 4. He goes, put it at 5. So I put it at 5, and he's like, where's your mids? I said, 6. He's like, where's your treble? 5. He goes, that sounds good. Gains on fucking... about 8, but and it was one of those when I plugged it in and just played a little bit through it, I was immediately like, oh man, this is way better than the Powerball. And the Powerball, I think, is one of those modules where it would sound much better going through a power amp in a cab than it does direct. I think it's just got too much gain, too much compression, too much saturation for the direct thing.
Yeah.
Because once it goes through StreamYard and YouTube, it's getting the shit compressed out of it there.
Right.
So I think it's just a little too much for the direct thing. But I even retubed that. I took the 12AX7s out of it and put 5751s in it at Jimmy's advice.
That's a great pedal. I have yet to try it, you know, like in the loop of here, trying, you know, with the cabinet or something like that, but...
Oh, you got the little one.
That's what she said. Ryan sent you a note.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't care.
Why?
You want to take a picture of that? So you can post it on Facebook later?
Of what?
What
Oh,
Ryan,
if you say...
what Ryan said about he wants to hear your guitar. Create a memory.
Like Frosty the Snowman.
Get that old Fuji film out.
I swear, I think a lot of why my tone sounds like it does is the guy from, and I'm not a Slipknot fanboy at all, but the thickness of your pick, how the angle that you play, because you talked about it sounding a certain scratchy or something like. It's all the angle that yeah, it's in your right hand mostly. Oh wait. Dude, I got a copyright claim.
So Q's got like the way huge fuzz fingers.
I got a copyright claim. I was playing like some Gordon Lightfoot, you know. I mentioned playing Crocodile Rock by Elton John. I did not play the backing track. I didn't play anything on guitar. And I got a copyright claim from BMG or whoever for Crocodile Rock. I just mentioned Crocodile Rock and Elton John and bam, copyright claim. How the hell does that even work?
That's pretty gay.
I think all that it's
The smaller it is, the faster it goes.
but it's weird how you can really play through somebody else's rig and it sounds just like you. Ryan, aren't you supposed to be doing the dishes or something?
I tell you, the coolest thing Elton John did was when he was up there at the American Music Awards, however many years ago, slagging Madonna on stage.
Yeah.
About lip syncing. She got voted like best live performer or some shit, and he was up there fucking like, how the hell does Madonna get best live performer when you're lip syncing? And just went on a rant about it on stage in front of God and everybody. Don't lie.
I saw Britney Spears do some interview that, yeah, she said, yeah, I lip sync because my dance moves are so complicated. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Britney Spears sings like she's got something stuck in her throat.
But if you go back to I hate to say the old days, like Don Kirshner's rock concert and all that shit, where they didn't have pedal board galore, they didn't have backing tracks, it was just fucking live, man. That was the shit. You either had the shit or get off the pot. It's like playing on YouTube. If you fuck up, it's forever.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Steve said something about that guitar. John, did you ever figure out, did you have something with a bad fret or maybe a bad string because you had a bad note or something?
He was having some phase issues last night. Giving him a little sitar sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, we thought it was that guitar, and then he got his other Sir, and it did it too. So once he figured out that happened, he clocked out. He was like, I'm fucking done.
So you wanted Steve to try to figure out what the hell you were doing with your, what lick did you call that?
I call that the money run. You
The
want to learn?
money run.
You want to learn the money run?
No, because
You do.
I'm not good at learning super fast.
You don't have to play it fast. I'll play it slow. I got a big one. I can go slow.
Oh! I don't know. Give it a shot.
You ready? You got your guitar up? So I'll show you the part that I stole from Frederick Ockeson of Opeth. And I don't really know how the hell this works in the key of E. Because it's, I don't know. I don't know nothing about theory.
Hold on. All right, there you go. Well, of course, the key of E is 12th fret, so.
Right. So I started off, so if you're in your pentatonic box, you know, your 12,
right.
12, 15, I go to the 16th instead. So the lick starts with a half step bend on the 16th fret. And I always play it over that riff that's... So it's half step. Nope.
Okay.
Bend it up a half and bring it back, a little shaky shake. And then you do a typical, you know, pull off hammer on pattern. 16, 12, 15 on the B. So I do that twice. Well, instead of I do the bend part once, and then I do the, and then we move up to the 19th, pull off to the 16th, and then hammer on the 17th of the B.
Okay.
Turn my delay off. And then you slide it up to the 22nd
Uh-oh.
and pull the 22nd off to the 19th and hammer on the 21st. '22nd to 19. There you go. So that's the whole run is big old vibrato we bend on the 22nd
Okay.
at the end. And that's the whole lick that I stole from Frederick Ockeson of Opeth.
Steve just said it's all E Mixolydian.
Damn, I called that. And
Woo.
then, so after you get, you do this. You need me to explain that one for you, Quentin?
No, I gave up.
Oh.
I'd have to work that. I'd have to do that. It's like the fucking Billy Squire thing, man. If I don't do it, slowly and get it under my fingers. That's the whole thing about licks that you get under your fingers. Oh dear Lord, hold on. Wrong channel.
Hang on a sec.
R2, I think you're.
Hello? R2, R3 locking nut? What's up, brah?
That just never gets old. It never. Okay, it may get a little bit, but
So yeah, that's my Mixolydian. I call it the money run.
okay.
Because it's money at speed.
Yeah, play it at your speed then.
Oh
Except,
God.
well,
There's no backing track to hide behind when I fuck this up. So
turn your delay on. It'll be fine.
So the riff's going.
Well,
So
there you go.
That's the money run. But yeah, I stole the first half of that from Frederick Ockeson, and then I was like, I got to figure out somewhere to go with that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of worked that whole. Because that's kind of like a country thing, right?
Right, yeah. I was going to say I like that part, yeah. He said play the second section again.
The walk down and walk back up? Okay. Could you see that?
See, backing up. What?
You got spell check on that thing?
Dude, if it wasn't for spell check.
Okay, I'll play it with my leg up here where you can
He
see.
says he thinks it's all still Mixolydian. Thanks.
So the lick is you 22nd to 19. So 22nd to 19 to 21, back to 19, back to 21, then down to 17. then you go to the G, and that's where you get a little wonky. So you. And I hit that.
Yeah,
note
that's
twice.
a little wonky there.
I mean, that's just on the D string, sliding from the 17th into the 18th, and then picking the 16th on the G. And then you pretty much just walk that right back up.
Now, would you say you prefer like alternate picking or legato? Because I'm definitely the legato guy. My alternate picking is not very good. What do you prefer? I guess.
I kind of do both. My legato is not super clean, which is why I fucking just stab the wall on every time I do it. If I'm only on 2 strings or something, it's not that bad. But if I'm going to run it all the way down, I need a little more gain.
Yeah.
So. Minor to major third, so still E Mixolydian. Good to know. I know jack shit about most theory, so I know some, but not nowhere near enough. Because when you really start getting into it, it's almost like you're trying to talk to me in Japanese. And
Well,
I'm
that's why I wanted
hibachi
to.
steak?
That's why I wanted to have you on instead of my fucking Rick Beato partner. That's like, what?
I just want to let you know that even if I'm not here during the lives, I usually watch the replay so I can get an education, because I went to public school too.
Yeah. And it's like, look, dude, I don't want to play like Ingve. I'm never going to, but I would like to see things a little bit better and put it in. This doesn't help at all. In my own kind of way of thinking,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I took lessons for 3 years from like the age of 12 to maybe I had been 15, maybe 2 or 3 months when I stopped. And just simply for the fact that my teacher, who was great, it got to the point where he couldn't teach me the stuff I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he looked like Bruce Dickinson. Like, he favored Bruce Dickinson a lot. Had these big chopped sideburns, 1983 Bruce Dickinson hair. But he was a huge Jeff Beck guy. He had like 14 Strats that were all the vintage white that had been faded because they've been in smoked in bars.
Yeah.
The big CBS headstocks, rosewood boards, the same pickups Beck used. Huge Beck guy.
Wow. Wow.
So I played for probably about 2 years just figuring shit out on my own. And I had a kid at school that showed me power chords. He'd been playing like a year. He'd show me power chords. I'd been playing like 6 months. And then I just kind of started figuring shit out on my own, kind of like how to move up and down the neck. That's why I'm so shit at like putting patterns together that just keep your fingers moving, and I do a lot of sliding.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and my guitar teacher, a monster player. Now I'm like 13, 14 years old. First time I've ever picked up a guitar. My first lesson, he tries to teach me Stairway to Heaven. So those first 3 chords, the first time you pick up a guitar, dude, he wasn't a good teacher, you know what I mean?
Right.
Wow, I need to go up and get some aloe before we get hit by this snowstorm that R2 is sending down here.
Thanks, Al.
We're supposed to get 6 to 12 inches of snow. R2 is like, really? Hold my beer.
But yeah, my teacher was cool. Well, the way my lessons went is you spent the first 30 minutes in that fucking Mel Bay book. You
If
know,
I could go back in time and kill either Hitler or Mel Bay, it would be Mel Bay.
and you know, I was a band kid in middle school and high school, so I kind of half-assed knew how to read music, drum music anyway, because I played drums in band. I played saxophone too, but so I could half-ass read music. So that was the whole thing. It was like I could half-ass read this, so I can bullshit my way through this book, and let's get on to the last half of the lesson where he's teaching me how to play songs.
Teaching a 13, 14-year-old out of a Mel Bay book is just a recipe for them never learning how to play guitar. The first thing I would teach a kid was power chords and then Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I knew after that they'd play guitar for the rest of their lives. Because they're walking out of their first or second lesson going, oh my God, I'm playing Nirvana and Green Day. Oh my God.
You know what? The first song I learned all the way through was this. See if you can remember it.
Uh-oh.
Pardon my G string's going to be a little bit out because the nut's a little too high. So it's tuned a smidge flat.
You got a dangler there? Okay, go ahead. Bush. Glycerine! Quentin James!
That was the first song I ever learned all the way through. A kid at school showed me that.
Dude, our third set always started with Machine Head.
I could play that too, however long ago. I haven't played that song in forever.
I had both Mel Bay books. It was just, the old gray mare and Are you sleeping, Brother John? Oh, God.
I thought it was Brother Tom.
I don't know. Mushy head. So anyway. All right, kids, we've been on... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, but yeah, when I was like 15, I always wanted to learn sweet picking and ridiculous shit. And it was that wheelhouse.
Never got into sweet picking.
I still suck at it. I can do 3 and 4 strings, but you start getting 5 and 6 string sweeps, I can't do it. I suck at it. Well, that's because I don't use my pinky much.
Dude, I always... Okay, Charles Green. Let's go do a Charles Green raid. It's almost 10 o'clock here, and yeah, Steve is sick and tired of being on a show with Quentin James. So Randy said, he'll come in and save the show. And
you got no education here.
Dude, seriously, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, buddy.
I love R2's story about that 22 Space Rack. Dude, what band do you play in? I can't tell you.
Secret.
The secret. All right, everybody go do a Charles Green raid. Again, Randy, thanks for coming in. Everybody, thanks for... Steve, get better, man.
Yeah, dude.
Because this show sucks without you. No, seriously, feel better, dude. All right, we're out of here. Thanks, guys. And...